Okay, welcome back. And we are here for another lesson with OG English, your go-to English learning channel. Today, we are diving into one of the trickiest but most powerful parts of English, the dreaded phrasal verb. So, you've probably heard phrases like look up, right? Get by, or run out. But do you really know what they mean or how to use them naturally in conversation? Well, you're in the right place because in this video, we are going to break them down, give you real life examples, and help you sound more like a native speaker, one phrasal verb at a time. So before we begin, here is a sneak peek at some of the most commonly used phrasal verbs in English that we'll cover in this lesson. Keep in mind that I will cover the opposite phrases as well sometimes when explaining, so you might leave today with more than 10. But here you go. This is what's coming. All right. So buckle up and let's get started. Okay. Uh, that is just the beginning. There are thousands and thousands of combinations. Today's lesson is just to open your mind to the idea of combining words that you know to mean something that you didn't. So grab your notebook, hit the like button if you want, and let's level up your English with these everyday phrases. All right, let's go. Remember, phrasal verbs, right? They are a combination of verbs. Verbs are, that's right, actions. And prepositions are the other thing that we're going to use today. Prepositions are little words that show relationships of things like time, place, direction, or purpose. Words like in, on, under, off. These kind of words are, pretty easy for most of my beginning students. But when you get to the advanced level, you'll put those words together with verbs and you get an entirely new meaning. And that can be confusing. So, first one, take off, right? We are going to take off. Maybe you're sitting on a plane and you hear the pilot say, we are preparing for takeoff, right? Most people know that one. The plane will take off. But if you have a hat or glasses or a watch, you can also take that off, right? So take off your watch, take off your hat. I used to get told that when you go inside, you are supposed to take off your hat. It's good manners. I don't think anybody cares anymore. So remember, take, right? To take something, and off, right? On, off. When you put them together, take off can be an airplane, or take off can also be to remove, right? To take something off. A lot of my students struggle with the opposite though, because if you take off your hat, then you take on your hat. No, you put on your hat and you take off, right? Put on, take off. Those are the opposites. All right. Next, pick up. Hmm. So someone's calling. Oh no, pick up the phone, right? I can answer. I can also pick up the cup. Pick up, right? Physically pick up something. Today, I hope that you will pick up many new phrasal verbs, right? So they can also mean to learn. When we say pick up, I picked up a new skill. I picked up some Spanish words from my friend. And you can physically pick something up, right? Whether that's lifting over your head or whether that's just picking it up with your hand and now it's not on the floor, on the table, wherever it was. The last one that a lot of my students struggle with is to pick up your children, right? So when you drop off your children is when you take them in the car or you walk or bicycle, whatever, you get to the school and then you leave them there and you continue and you keep going, right? That is to drop off someone, right? The opposite is to pick up, right? So you want to drop off the kids and then you pick up the kids after school. So to physically collect them, right? The problem with that one is a lot of students will say, teacher, I need to pick off, drop off. They get confused with the order. Remember, pick up, drop off. All right, good job. Next, to check out. This is another popular one. When you check out, you can stop thinking. I've checked out. I don't care anymore, right? You can also check out something like to look closely, to inspect. If you say, oh, hey, check out this painting, or hey, check out this new movie. If you think about check out, there are many uses. At the hotel, you can check out, right? Now you can check out books from a library. Um, and checkout has a lot of different uses. In modern slang, people say, hey, check it out, right? Check it out just means look. Check it out is like look. So my Brazilian friend would say, what is this? What does it mean? Check, right? Like a check mark, or check, like physical check, money, and put it together, and it means something completely different. So, yeah, check it out. All right. The next one is to turn down, right? Turn down has more than one meaning. You can turn down the volume and talk really quietly. You can turn it back up, right? And so to turn down, a lot of times we're thinking about volume. To turn up, as my friend Muhammad would say, is to have a party, to get the party started. So, are we going to turn up this weekend? Uh, but we're not talking about turn up right now. We're talking about turn down. The other meaning for turn down is to reject, to say no. So, sometimes maybe you're applying for a job and you get turned down in the past. Uh, Sometimes you're accepted, hopefully, but if not, you get turned down. So remember, you can get turned down, and the volume can also be turned down. Two different meanings. Um, Next one, to give up, right? Last video, one of the videos about a poem, I told you, do not give up. Right? Give is when you hand something to someone or you're changing ownership, right? I'm saying here, give, right? Up, everybody knows up, right? But give up is when you quit. It's when you stop trying, right? So hopefully you do not give up learning English because there's plenty more to learn. So if you want, you can give up a bad habit. Those are usually good ideas, but please don't give up studying English. Okay, next one, to put off, right? Put and off or off. But put off is like when you don't want to do something right now, so you put it off for later, right? I'm putting off cutting the grass. Don't tell. I'm putting off cleaning the garage, right? To put off. But there's another interesting example of being put off. If I say I am put off by that situation, it means I'm not very happy. So a little less common phrase in 2025, but you will hear that or read it sometimes. So to be put off can mean your attitude, your feeling is not so good, like I am being put to the side. Or to put off an event is to postpone, to do it later. Okay. Next up, we've got a combination to run, right? Run, run into and run out of. All right. So we're going to teach these at the same time. I can run out of, literally run out of a building, right? You can run out of the house if you're in a hurry, right? Run out of the house. Or you forgot your wallet. Now you have to run into the house, right? So you're going to run and enter in a hurried way. You're not always running. Sometimes you're just moving quickly, but we say, I have to run into the house. I forgot my wallet. Yes, many times. So the other meaning, the more idiomatic meaning, and that's where these phrasal verbs get tricky, is when it's a literal meaning, meaning direct, easy to understand. Pick up. Okay, pick up. Easy. But pick up my kids in the car. I'm not going to put my daughter like this, right? So when it's an idiom, that's when it's more tricky. And in this case, run into and run out of both have an idiomatic meaning. So if I'm walking down the street and I see my friend, it wasn't planned. I just see them, say, "Hey, how's it going?" And they say, "Oh, I ran into my friend in the street." Not physically touched, right? But just I saw them. I met them on accident, right? But worst case situation, you are driving your car and you run into someone. Ugh, now you're in trouble, right? That's a bigger problem. So I've heard many times in a class someone say, "Oh, I ran into the teacher downtown." And the other students are like, "Is the teacher okay?" Yes, he's fine. But we didn't hit each other. Although that is one meaning of run into, that's not what we were talking about. So remember, run into has several meanings. The next one, run out of, also has another meaning. If I'm drinking coffee and, oh no, I have run out of coffee, no more. So hopefully you don't run out of energy or patience when you're studying English with me. But yeah, we're almost about to run out of time. So I'm going to try to finish really quickly, right? So remember, run into, run out of, several meanings. Next up, break down, right? If your car breaks down, ooh, not good. Hopefully, you can call my friend Hussein. He will fix your car for you. But if you don't have Hussein's number, ugh. So break down, right, has a meaning for machines. For example, to stop functioning, to stop operating. But we can also talk about weightlifting and breaking down, muscles or food in your stomach breaks down when you're digesting it. And lastly, you can emotionally break down, right? If someone becomes very sad or depressed, something big happens, maybe they break down, right? So just like a car, they're going to stop functioning the same way because they're emotionally hurt. So yeah, a lot of meanings for breakdown. And when I worked in a factory before, if you have boxes, right, you have to break down the boxes. So the boxes are out, you have to fold them back down to flat. Lots of meanings for breakdown. All right, last one. Hopefully today, in the last, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, you have managed to level up your English. So level, right? Different levels, and up, when we put them together, level up. level up your English. All right. So use some of these phrasal verbs in your daily life, but whether you use them or not, you are going to hear them. So keep your ears open for phrasal verbs. And if you want to learn more, you have a couple choices. You can look up some of the thousands and thousands of phrasal verbs online. You can also send me a request. Put it down in the comments and say, teacher, or just say, hey, what does this phrasal verb mean? Or teach me about that phrasal verb, and I will try to help you out. So, good luck. I hope you can level up your English. Don't put it off until tomorrow and pick up some new words. All right. Best of luck, and I will see you next time. OG English. Chop, chop, chop.